What's going on, people? Welcome back to the United Stand. We are live on the build-up for Manchester United versus FCSB. I need to get that right because I can't actually pronounce the name, so I'm just going to keep it as FCSB. But I am not by myself. I'm joined with two amazing guests. We're here with Tull and we are here with Sam. So first of all, how are you guys doing? Tull, you've not been here in like a month or like not been here in ages. How are you feeling?
Good. Last few times I was here, I was just moaning about how rubbish United are, mate. So they give us a little tiny bit of hope recently with the Arsenal result, which was here for that. I think last time I was here actually was City.
Oh, was it? The Ahmad City, the 2-1?
Yeah, City. I think so.
Yeah.
It might have been, or it might have been another time after that. But yeah, they give us a little small bit of hope recently. The result against Liverpool, which was here for that.
You missed a lot of big results.
I missed the big ones, but they went and let us down straight after it. So it's just typical United. So yeah, let's hopefully get a run of games going, especially in this Europa League. We could really do a win in it.
100%. And Sam, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm always a bit like changing every game week. Are we going to win? Are we going to lose? But I think Manchester United have got it in the bag today.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to do our actual predictions right at the end. But are you both predicting a win though? Because I feel like recently it's been it's been all over the place. Some people are predicting losses and draws. Are you going for wins today or are you unsure?
I'm going with a win, but I'm not confident enough in United to say it's going to be like a landslide win yet. There's no way I'm going to start chucking 3-0s and 4-0s out yet. I'm just not.
I've thrown 3-0 out there.
Yeah, we just.
I've thrown 3-0 out there.
Mate, I've not chucked I can't remember the last time I chucked a 2-0 out, mate. Like I've just been chucking losses and draws out. But I'm going to go with a win today.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm not doing FCSB justice because I'm not gonna claim that I know loads about them.
Yeah.
I don't even know what country they're from. So
Romania.
So yeah, no, but it could be really good. Who knows?
Go on, Sam.
Yeah, Manchester United win today. Obviously, I'm sure we'll get into it, but the opposition are second in their league, so it's not like they are a horrendous team. They've Rangers. They wiped the floor with, I think. Oh no.
Yeah, it was Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers they wiped the floor with. So they're not the worst team in the world, but I'm confident Manchester United are going to get the result today.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to lie, I did throw a 3-0 out there. I thought, you know what, sure, I'll be honest, whenever it comes to match day, my red tinted glasses have come on and I'm back to being a normal United fan again. I feel like we should bring it out the bag, and I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm sure everyone in the chat probably feels the same. We should be able to get the win today. Considering that we are unbeaten in the Europa League, surprisingly. I mean, when I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, wait, surely we've lost one game. Like, surely maybe Ten Hag must have lost a game, but no, we're actually unbeaten in the.
It's because everybody started losing their minds when we drew to. Not Port. We drew to Fenerbahce and we drew to. There was another team we drew to early on. I think we drew the first 3 games.
Porto, Fenerbahce,
and
something else.
A 20.
FC20. That was the first one. That was the first game. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone lost their minds a little bit after that, but it's worked out all right, to be fair.
Yeah. So later on in the show, we are gonna have Beth calling in actually. She is obviously at the ground, at the stadium. I really want to know what the energy is like there because you know that the ultras in those kind of like Eastern European countries is always crazy. I think Turkey, they have crazy ultras. So I really want to know what the energy is like. So she's going to be calling in pretty much when the lineup comes out. And I think the lineup's coming up at around 6:45. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And also, Ricky will be here on the forum. And I've not seen Ricky in a couple of weeks, so I really want to know his opinions on what's been going on recently with Manchester United. But look, what we want to do today, and you know, when I'm hosting, things got to be a little bit different, you know. So I thought, let's make it a little bit more interactive. We've got a whiteboard. We have a whiteboard. If you didn't know, United don't have a whiteboard, a working smart board over there. And what we're going to do is going through the different players. Sam C is he's gonna be the what do you call it? Our host.
Mr. Whiteboard.
Mr. Whiteboard. He's gonna be the host and going through the different players and talking about, you know, the different options that we have. Sam's gonna pretty much kind of write down our predicted 11 before the game starts. So Sam,
we're doing it now, yeah?
Don't mind taking a little trip over to the whiteboard. I don't think Tull even knows what's going on.
No, we did the pilot of the whiteboard, mate, me, you and Jordan. Yeah, it was good. It was actually quite good.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Start this side.
So Sam, let's start off in, you know, the goalkeeper. I think that's actually a big conversation, to be fair. who is going to start off in net. Now, Bayern did start the last Europa League game, and it was a bit of a surprise for some people, considering Onana was supposed to be our Europa League our Europa League goalkeeper. But Onana did come back in goal for the Fulham game. And it was a quiet game, so it wasn't like he had to do anything spectacular or kind of prove himself, because there wasn't really much going on in that game. So, I mean, told straight away, who do you think is going to be the goalkeeper, and who do you want to be the goalkeeper?
I feel like it will be Onana, just because I think when Bayern came in, it felt like it was a bit more of he was dropped with purpose because he had the howl of the game before. Brighton, so I feel like that was more of a thing. However, I feel like managers, once they, have their way of, all right, he's my Europa League keeper, he's my league keeper, he's my cup keeper. I don't think it takes a lot to change it, to go scrap that and putting him in now. So I feel like he'll go with Onana today, just because I don't think top 8's guaranteed. Even if we lose, I don't think we're guaranteed top 8. So we've got to turn up today expecting to get a win. So we've somewhat got to put a strong 11 out. I don't think it'll be the strongest, but I think there'll be 7-8 regular starters in that team today. Okay,
Sam, I mean, who do you think is going to be the starter today? And the same question as well, who do you want to start?
Yeah, so I think today it will be, it's just opinion, I don't have any information on the team at the moment, but I think my guess is that he'll go with Bayern, because obviously Bayern was handed his first European start the other week, and we're seeing that he probably is that cup goalkeeper. So I think Bayern will probably play today, and yeah, I've got no problem with it.
Okay, cool. Bayern, you saying Bayern? I said Onana.
I said Onana, but...
Okay, so does that mean I'm the decider vote?
Yeah, you're the decider.
I think it's difficult, because, like you said, I agree with Sam. He did pick Bayern there for the last Europa League game, so I can imagine him picking again. But at the same time, he did bring Onana back into the team. Is he going to take him back out again another game? I'm going to go Bayern there. We may as well just put Bayern there on the board.
Okay, yeah.
Let's put Bayern there on the board.
That. We'll do their initials. Altai Bayern.
Great. So let us know in the chat, who do you think will start today's game? Who do you think Amorim is going to choose? It is an interesting conversation. In fact, can we just run a poll on that? Who do you think is going to start today, Altai Bayern or Onana? I mean, I'll ask both of you this question. Who is the better goalkeeper? I think it kind of has to come down to that at the end of the day. Who is the better goalkeeper? Because, I mean, we're going to talk about this later on, but this is actually an important game for United. If we lose, we drop out of the top 8. And I know we're out unbeaten, but we still need to win. It's not a throwaway game that we can just experiment. We need to get a result. So we're going to need our best goalkeeper who doesn't make the most mistakes to play. So, in your opinion, who is the better goalkeeper?
I hate talking about our keepers. Do you know what? I really stood my ground on Onana earlier in the season, and when he was coming under a bit of fire, I really stuck up for him. Because I thought he gave us 6 to 8 months where he was really solid towards the back end of last season, and even the start of this season. However, I feel like ever since I stuck up for him, he just keeps letting me down. And I just feel like I'm getting proven wrong every week. That one against Brighton was like one of the worst I've ever seen a keeper do in a United shirt. That was a howler. That was a bad howler.
It was tough.
And you watch that, and it's really hard to make excuses for it.
Yeah.
However, Bayern I've not seen too much of him. And one thing I did pick up on against Arsenal, because that's like the one game where he actually played the full way through, was I thought he was a little bit shaky on the ball. That was the first thing I picked up on the first half. I thought he was shaky on the ball. Fair play to him, he made top saves and he was great in the shootout. But on the ball, I didn't like him on the ball. Where Onana, I would say I'm somewhat confident when he's on the ball, at least more so than Bayern. So I'll still say Onana is the best keeper, but yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be. It's not like a
100% one way in it. It's more like they both have their negatives and they both got the positives. In my opinion, I came to the conclusion after that Brighton game, it's one too many mistakes for me, and I get it. Like, if they were both at their best, Onana would most likely be the better goalkeeper at their best. This isn't his best. You know, and it's not. I don't think we've had Onana's best. I'm talking about like for a whole season. We haven't had, or like a good run of games. We haven't had Onana's best. And when you're making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes, as a goalkeeper, you just can't allow that. Because a midfielder, you can have that. Bruno can make 10 mistakes every game and probably still score 5 goals. You know, a striker, I don't know, or Ahmad could make 5-6 mistakes in a game and still come up with a goal or an assist.
You literally said on your finger earlier, Bruno can make 15 mistakes in a game, but if he comes away with the winning goal,
you kind of forgetting about it,
mate.
And
get completely forgotten. As a keeper, you make mistakes because you've conceded a goal usually, and it's like that's it. There's no getting around it. So I do get what you mean. It is becoming a bit. Well, it's not a bit too much. It's a joke, really. What's happening with Onana? But at the same time, I wouldn't say I've seen enough from Bayern there to have the confidence to just make him the number one. Is Tom Eaton still at the club?
He is.
Mate,
did he travel?
Mate, Tom Eaton is a top goalkeeper.
Shoot, we should have added another option, Tom Eaton.
Mate, honestly, Tom Eaton is a top keeper, mate. Like, I remember there was a game where we played Burnley a few years ago where it was just a joke. Like, we could not get past him, so... Why is Tom Eaton not getting fucking seriously?
He went to the Euros, I think. I think he got like a last minute. He came in like as like a third keeper.
He didn't go as a player. He went as a support goalkeeper.
That's what I mean. Like he came at last minute, and he like halfway through came to like.
We could do with some support, mate. To be honest, like, we could do with some support in between the sticks. Honestly, I'd give Tom Eaton a run, see if he's still got a bit about him.
Yeah, you know why not? Why not? Let us know in the comments or in the chat. Do you think Tom Eaton could be an option for United? You never know. I don't know how old he is. He's probably like in his mid-30s.
Age don't matter, mate. Van der Sar did it for a very long time.
True. Buffon kept on playing it. He's still playing now, you know, till he's 40. But anyway, let's move on to the next position. I'm gonna go wing backs to start off with. I'm gonna start on the left. Now we did recently just sign. I mean, Sam C, you can probably talk a little bit more on this. We confirmed the signing of Dorgu at left wing back. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of him. We were actually live on the forum for when Dorgu was playing. I think they were playing Inter Milan, and the whole chat was pretty much just saying he's having a stinker, don't sign him, And I was thinking, what have we done? Like, what's going on? I don't think the game was that bad. I think people were kind of exaggerating a little bit, but. So he is obviously today he's not going to be an option, but in the long term he's going to be one of our options at left wing back. Sam, who do you think should play at that position? Dalot is obviously our main player who plays there, but I mean, Malacia could probably jump in there, and obviously speak a little bit about the Dorgu signing as well.
Yeah, so it's fair to say Man United are basically 99% there with the Dorgu deal. His medical is not going to be today or tomorrow as was being circulated. It will be on the weekend, which means that hopefully come next week, registered, done, deadline day. We're not expecting any problems by Manchester United, so you do never know. But Dorgu will become an option for Manchester United to be a Manchester United player from next week. Now you're asking me who do I think is going to be there. I think once Dorgu is completely 100% signed and sealed, we could see Tyrone Malacia leave on loan. He's got some interest from like clubs like Real Betis that took Anthony. Okay. These type of clubs are circulating for Malacia. So I'm not sure if Malacia will play today because that is a risk, obviously. Probably similar to the reason why Marcus Rashford isn't playing and why Anthony didn't play a single minute before he joined Real Betis, because the club wanted to protect those sort of assets, because if the deal falls through, then if the player gets injured, the deal falls through, right? And Manchester United fans are screaming for these, what's been described by some fans as deadwood, and these type of players that are just useless to the squad because they're not in the manager's project. They're calling for these type of players to go. So, I mean, we could see Malacia in today, but I don't think it will be purely based on the fact that because Dorgu is about to come, it does open that space for Malacia to go and play week in, week out. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't actually know that. So pretty much what you're saying is likelihood is it'll probably be Dalot, let's be honest. If there is any other player that could play that position, I mean, I don't know how many other options we really have there. Who do you think would, or any other options do you think could play left wing back position? Yeah,
I think tonight it'll be Dalot.
It'll be Dalot again.
Yeah, he plays a lot of games.
Yeah.
He's been playing twice a week for a long time, so I don't think that'll change tonight. I think Dalot will be straight in there, and I think Dalot will play on the weekend as well.
Should we add Dalot to the? Yeah, let's do it. To the predicted lineup.
Diogo Dalot. Diogo.
Let us know in the chat if you agree. If you think Dalot will be the starting left wing back today. Some people are saying that Fabrizio said his medical was today.
Said it was today.
I don't know, maybe someone's just trolling in the chat, I don't know. But he is definitely going to be obviously coming to United. It's just a matter of like when, not exactly if. So yeah, Dalot is left wing back. That's pretty much confirmed. Right wing back is more of a conversation just because we have two players that could play there. And that's pretty much Mazraoui and Amad Diallo. Now, I mean, this has been a conversation pretty much all season or since Amorim's come in, whether or not Amad is better as a right wing back or as a right-sided 10. He has performed very well in both positions. He did score a hat-trick as a right wing back, so that is obviously, you know, that's kind of something that not even a lot of United players have done. I think the last hat-trick we had was Ronaldo, you know, which is crazy to think. So in your opinion, Toll, would you start Amad Diallo as a right wing back, or do you still feel like we should push him further up the pitch and give him less of a responsibility to kind of have that defensive duties?
I think with Amad, I think the argument that we should push him further up the pitch can be countered by also saying playing wing back and he'll get more of the ball. I think the more Amad has the ball, the better for United as a whole. On the ball right now, he is probably United's most effective player and probably one of the safest players as well.
Yeah.
So I just think he's got to be in the team. I just say it every time. He's got to be in the team no matter what. It doesn't matter which one. He's just got to be in the team. So I think what it gives you the small luxury of doing is you can kind of work around the other players. You know, if you're right wing back, if Mazraoui's not fit, for example, well, you can play Amad at right wing back that week. If we're short on options at number 10 for that week, then Amad can go in the 10.
Yeah.
I'd kind of just always work it like that. In terms of today, I think maybe I could see him playing the 10 because I could see Bruno playing a bit deeper tonight. I could see Bruno dropping into that little 2 pivot.
Yeah.
So I could see maybe Garnacho playing on the left 10 and Amad on the right 10 tonight. So I think he'll go on the 10 tonight. And Mazraoui as my right wing back.
As a right wing back.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Usually, I mean, you'd expect kind of a little bit of a rotation, a slight bit of rotation compared to our last game. I mean, it's kind of looking like we're playing the same team. I mean, apart from Bayern there, it might even look like we're playing pretty much the same team. And considering, like you said, Bruno drops deeper into that midfield places. Amad obviously playing up top. I think Garnacho even started the last game as well in the 10. I mean, obviously, we talk about the striker. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I think I agree. I like Amad as a 10, and I think everyone likes Amad as a 10, but you can't deny what he's doing as a wing back. Even if you feel like he might not be as great defensively, or you feel like he has a bit more freedom being as a 10, as a wing back, he's been our best right wing back. There's nobody who's played better than him in that position. You kind of have to ask yourself, do you not want our best right wing back to play as a right wing back, if that makes sense? Even though that shouldn't necessarily be his position, you kind of want that to be, you know, a position which is fully, like, I don't know the word is, but it's taken care of. You know, there's no like
worries.
Yeah, there's no worries in that position, especially considering how important it is to Amorim. You don't really want us to be thinking, do we have a good enough player there? Whereas in the 10s, we do have 2 decent players in Garnacho and Bruno that can play in those positions. So, I mean, I don't know about you, Sam. Are you kind of agreeing with Tor? Do you think, what's he called, Mazraoui should play in that right wing position, or are you going Amad?
Yeah, today I think I would probably go Mazraoui there. That's what I think it will be, and then Amad in one of these 2 10 positions. So I think it's fair to say that will probably be Mazraoui today.
We'll go Mazraoui.
We'll add it.
Put him on the board.
Sweet, let's do it. Nusa Mazraoui.
Sweet. So we got Dalot. A lot of people say it looks like a 00. He plays doubles.
I'll rewrite it when you carry on talking.
So we got Mazraoui and we've got Dalot at the 2 wing backs. Now let's talk about the centre back options. Now, who for you guys is like stapled in 100%? First name. There's 3 options obviously, but the first name he has to play today.
I'll go. I still think, I know we had a bit of a shocker in the last Europa League game, but I still think Harry Maguire's our best central centre-back. I think he's just by far the most comfortable on the ball out the 3. And also, I think De Ligt, being one of the wider centre-backs, specifically the right, I think you get a far better De Ligt. I think De Ligt looks
You think he's better right centre back than in the centre?
Yeah, I think he's way better. When most of his game is just focused on just defending, one-on-ones as well. I think he's way better. And then the left side, obviously, Lissandro's been the go-to. I just wondered tonight maybe Yoro might get a look in tonight. Yeah, I think maybe De Ligt could be dropped. But then you don't know. We could put De Ligt in the middle. And I think he wants to play Maguire on the weekend. So I think the only one I can confidently say he'll play tonight is Yoro.
Really?
Yeah, I think
that's a staple name in for you, Yoro.
I think Yoro plays tonight. Yeah.
100%.
I think so. Yeah. I'd say so.
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, none of us know. But I agree. I think we probably will see Lenny Yoro play tonight.
100%. Okay, cool. I mean, let's stick Yoro in then.
Yeah,
we'll go Yoro on the right.
On the right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yoro on the right. And then the other two positions, let's be honest, it's on the left. I mean, how many options do we have? I know Luke Shaw is back in training. He's obviously not gone with the team today. He's not going to play any of these upcoming games. But that's really the only other person I can see playing that position anyway. So it's pretty much locked in to be Martinez, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we can put Martinez on the left side of centre back.
See, we go through all of this though, and then Amorim could end up playing Ahmad right wing back,
Mazraoui
right centre back,
and Lindelof.
Johnny Evans.
Yeah, literally, mate. Yeah, surely, like, there's so many different ways he's done it already, and he's only been here 3 months. Do you remember when we were doing we did this lineup and we got it so wrong.
Yeah. It was like Amorim's first game, then he played Anthony and some Malacia fullbacks, and we were like,
we just that was it. Yeah, and Malacia left wing back, Anthony right wing back. Yeah,
we were just so wrong. So I mean, that just leaves that central centre back role, and then obviously it's our two players, De Ligt and Maguire. Who started the last game? I remember Maguire being a sub. Was he not a sub?
We played.
Somebody let us know in the chat.
I know Yoro got subbed on.
Let us know in the chat.
I know De Ligt and Martinez played. Must have been Maguire in the middle, surely. Must have been. Yeah,
it must have been. I feel like it was. Let us know in the chat. I mean, they'll know you started. Yeah, it was De Ligt who started.
Yeah, so I knew De Ligt started, but who was the middle one?
I'm trying to remember. But anyway, forget about that. I'm gonna say Maguire to start. If we're predicting Yoro to take that right centre back position, I'm going to predict Maguire to start. Only because I said it earlier on in the show, this is actually an important game. I know people think it's the Europa League or it's an easy team. Like I said, if we lose, we drop out of that top 8, which means we have to play an extra 2 games to qualify, which is just more fatigue. Yeah, you might say, well, it's better for rotation. We don't need to have more games. We don't need to have any more games than we already have. We've already playing 50 games this season. I feel like Amorim's going to take this game seriously. And obviously, if we win the Europa League, we get Champions League, which is, in my opinion, that should be the main goal right now. We should be trying to get Champions League at all costs. So I'm going to say he's going to go with a secure option, and that is Harry Maguire.
Yeah, sweet. Let's add that in.
Let's
do it. Harry Maguire. We've got the back three there, the goalkeeper, the wing backs. So now we need to do the midfield, number 10s and a striker.
This dual midfield pivot, I think, is the biggest conversation, because I genuinely couldn't put a staple name in there. Maybe Ugarte, but even then, we've seen Ugarte get relegated. What's the word?
You said relegated.
Yeah, I was going to say relegated. I meant to say rotated over and multiple times. We've even seen him get taken off and Mainly at the same time in a game. So to me, Amorim, I mean, we saw Collyer and Eriksson, as a midfield two. We've seen Bruno be in there. We've seen, obviously, Mainly be in there. I'm not fully convinced who 100% starts in that midfield two. I'm not fully convinced. I think because Mainly hasn't started the last 2 games, I feel like Mainly will start today.
I agree.
And that's the only name. That's literally just because he hasn't started the last 2 games. That's the only reason. Other than that, honestly, I don't know.
I agree.
Who do you think will start?
I think you're probably right in what you said about because Mainu hasn't started in the last 2. He will probably play today. So I would probably put Mainu in there if I was doing my predictors 11. And then if it is Mainu in there, it's most likely to be alongside Ugarte. So that's why I think maybe I would play Toby Collyer today, but probably not if Mainu is starting.
Mainly starting. What about you, Tom?
I have a feeling Collier will play today. I wonder with Mainu as well. Do you think he made a case when he came on against Fulham to play at 10?
That's a whole other conversation. We're gonna get into that when we get to the 10s. When we get to the 2 10s, we'll get into that. But
I do think like what Mordzs is saying with Mainu not starting in a couple of games. It's not that Mainu's been seen out. He's going to get a game eventually. Could see it being tonight. It's just whether. Someone's going to have to get rested. Is Bruno going to get a rest? Probably not. Bruno's going to be. Let's be honest. Bruno's going to be in there.
Plays regardless.
Is he going to play Garnacho 2 games on the bounce though? I don't know. He's not really been doing recently. I don't know, but I think Collier will go in there. What do you guys think? Do you expect to see Collier? I thought Ugarte might get a rest today. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my 2. Maybe this is my 2 is Mainu and Collier.
I'd love to see it. Mate.
I actually think.
Should we put it down?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think Mainu and Collier will be the 2. Only because, like you said, you can put it down. Only because, like you said, Ugarte being rested, that could be an option. Bruno's going to play regardless, and I just feel like he might play further forward because he kind of changes him up and down. Sometimes he plays as a 10, sometimes he plays as a 6 or in the pivot. So, I mean, if we're going onto the 10s, I do think Bruno is obviously going to play in that position. But yeah, I just feel like Collier, he started the other day and it worked. And I don't think anyone really had any problems about it.
Got an interesting team here.
Yeah, and I think Collier actually provides something. I say it all the time. He provides something that Mainu doesn't have. He's got that legs. He's got that. I'm not saying that Mainu doesn't work hard, but
he's got a bit more aggression.
Yeah, a little bit more aggression. Gets up and down the pitch a lot. He does similar to what Ugarte does, actually, to be fair. And I feel like it complements Mainu a lot more than he would complement Ugarte because I feel like they were doing the same thing. So Mainu and Collier, I don't know. I feel like that's a good midfield duo. I think that's a good midfield duo. But let us know in the chat, what do you think that 2 midfield would be going into the 10? And again, I'm sorry, Sam. Everyone keeps saying in the chat double A. It's not double A. It's 2 D's. I don't know why.
Double A?
I've seen a lot of double A's in the chat. I don't know why.
It's Diogo Dalot. Come on.
It's Diogo Dalot. Obviously, it's Diogo Dalot. It's not A. Everyone keeps saying double A. It's not 2 A's. It's 2 D's.
But you haven't got a player with double A. It can't even be double A.
It can't even be. But yeah, going into those 2 10 positions. I mean, you spoke about Mainu. I mean, talking a little bit more on that. We saw him that glimpse. For the Ahmad disallowed goal right at the end. But it looked like something that we could work on, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, get your most technically gifted players as close to each other as you can, and that's what you're going to get, mate. You can, if you can separate your 11 and almost divide it into 3 and look at it as making almost like 3 5-a-side teams in one team, then you're laughing, mate. If you can have your players linking up like that all around the pitch, you'll literally just play the other team off the park. That little glimpse off Mainu and Ahmad, surely that's got to see that more.
It's a little bit of a bright spark. You're thinking,
got to see that more,
why have we not even tried? Like we've not seen it because Mainu and Ahmad, they don't usually play it like anywhere near each other. Mainu's usually on the left side of the midfield too. Ahmad's on the far right, playing as a wing back. They don't have that. They're not in close proximity to kind of have that kind of game. We saw it for 5-10 minutes, and it literally led to a goal straight away. So, I mean, Sam, what do you think about that?
Probably in the number 10 today, I think it will be Ahmad and Bruno. Just because Ghana has played a lot recently, and again, he's also linked with a move away. Not that stopped him being played, but he is linked with that move to Chelsea ahead of Monday's deadline. And we haven't seen any manager really drop or rest Bruno Fernandes. So I think it will probably be Bruno and Ahmad today, unless it's Bruno and Ghana and Ahmad gets a rest. But I think it will probably be Bruno and Ahmad.
I've got a question. If we were going to rest a player today and we didn't want to affect the team that badly, obviously, like someone like, I don't know, De Ligt or someone like Maguire, they can rest and they don't think the team will change too much. But for example, a player like Bruno, who plays every game, Ahmad, who plays a lot of minutes, who would you least want to rest? Who do you feel like has to kind of be in this team regardless? That we can't take a chance with dropping them out, not dropping, but kind of rotating them out today, because do you think there's a chance that Bruno could get a few minutes just on the bench? I'd say a few minutes, but let's say 50, 60 minutes on the bench, just for fatigue-wise, just because he's playing so many minutes. Is this a game where I'm thinking, let me just give him a little time to just sit on the bench for a bit, still bring him on later on in the game, but just for his own sake, give him a little break?
I just can't see it.
Every single game he has to play.
I just can't see it happening. He just plays every single game. Ahmad could maybe see getting a rest. Even still though, it's one of them. Like if it's 60 minutes into the game, it's 0-0, and you see Ahmad getting warmed up, it's happy days. You know what I mean? you know you're going to get something. So I don't think it'd be the end of the world if Ahmad was to get rested. Those are the two guys, really, isn't it? Bruno and Ahmad. To be honest, I think Ugarte is slowly becoming one of those players where, like, when we don't play him, you start to get a little bit cold feet. When you look at the 11 and Ugarte's not in there, you know. Yeah. He does bring a bit more, just a bit of reliability to the midfield. You know what you're going to get with Ugarte, and recently it's been near enough a 7 out of 10 every game. So yeah, Ahmad, out of all of them, I think Ahmad's probably the one who's most realistic to get a rest, just because history shows Bruno just doesn't rest. Just
never rest.
Plays in his sleep.
I mean, let's get two names up there. Let's just put Ahmad and Bruno.
Ahmad and Bruno?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the realistic two options. And then, I mean, we'll go on to the striker. Again,
best or last.
Another. They're gonna get onto you for the Amad Diallo.
They're gonna get onto me.
They're gonna get
me. I could do it lowercase, but they're gonna say it's an A, so it's a lose-lose for me. So
yeah, they're gonna.
Mate, I'll just write Ahmad actually.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'll just write Ahmad.
Okay, so cool. Let's get onto the striker.
How long have we got till the actual team?
About 10 minutes.
Sweet.
About 10 minutes. So, not Ahmad, the striker options, Xerxes and obviously Højlund. I mean, this has been a conversation again for a long time, mainly because none of them have kind of stamped their name onto the team and said, I am the best striker in this club right now. None of them have said that. Now, Xerxes has had better cameos recently. Højlund has been pretty underwhelming, in my opinion. In fact, he's been very poor. It's almost like he's lost his ability to play football almost. His first touch is bad. I honestly feel like as a professional footballer at this level, if your first touch is bad, something's wrong. Because you shouldn't even be able to get to this level without having a good first touch. And I don't remember this being a problem last season. That's why I'm bringing it up. So something must be wrong. Something's going on. Maybe it's a confidence thing, whether it's, I don't know. But it just seems like Haaland's kind of lost he's lost his spark. He's lost his ability to, be a good footballer. So I would actually personally start Xerxes, and I know he has started. He did start the last game, I think. I think the last two games, maybe.
No, I think Højlund started last game.
Did Højlund start last
game?
game?
I think Højlund started against Fulham, didn't he?
Oh, was it? Yeah. Oh, then he got taken off. Oh yeah,
he got taken off. Xerxes came on.
Yeah, I remember now. He had a horrible game. He had an absolute stinker.
Yeah,
so yeah, I would personally start Xerxes just because Højlund's just not giving me anything to kind of go off. He's not giving me any kind of sign to say he can do this. It's looking pretty bad, to be fair, for Højlund. Well, in your opinion, who would you start?
I'd start Xerxes.
Yeah.
Because even both of them. It's like rolling the dice, because you could get the absolute worst version of them turn up or the absolute best version. However, if you've got the best version of Højlund and the best version of Xerxes, I think Xerxes is miles better.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
The best version of Højlund and the best version of Xerxes.
Yeah, I'm taking Xerxes.
You think the best version of Xerxes is better than the best version of Højlund?
Yeah, I think he's a miles better footballer. He just does me head in, because he's like, if you were around Josh Xerxes now, if you're one of his mates or his family, and you're looking at this opportunity he's got presented by Højlund's lack of performances, you'd be saying, mate, this is the perfect time for you to stamp your name and become the starter. But he just doesn't, when he can grasp it, he doesn't do it. It's just every now and then he'll give you a really good game, he'll give you a bit of hope, and then next game just doesn't follow up on it. Sometimes, mate, it just looks like, I don't want to say energy, but sometimes it's like he's not even there, mate. Sometimes Xerxes is like a ghost. It's like he needs a Red Bull, mate, or a snus, or just give him something, mate, just to get him up for it, mate. I don't know, do some chants in the dressing room or something. Just get Xerxes hyped before the game, mate, and I think we'll get, he offers more when he's actually there. Whereas Højlund, when he's actually there, I just think he's very limited as a footballer, to be honest. You can score goals, we know we can finish and put chances away, but in terms of on the ball, I back Xerxes way more.
That's it. I mean, the chat's kind of a bit. I feel like some people are saying Xerxes at his best, some people are saying Hoyland. But let's probably run a poll on it. Let me, actually, no, the last poll I ran was a Bayern one, and that's a landslide. Like, it's 93% Bayern, 7% Onana. Wow. And to be fair, we did a poll recently, one of the last couple of games, can't remember which one, and it was the same thing. It was like 91% Bayern and like 9% Onana. So
I'm going to sink on this Onana shit, mate. I've been trying so long.
I feel like the fan base is completely. It's completely shifted.
When it's a mistake that bad that he did against Brighton, like what?
It was inexcusable, really.
Mate, it was so bad.
Yeah, it was so bad. But
so bad.
Let's run a quick poll as well on Hoyland and Xerxes. I want the poll to be, though, at their best, who is a better player? I don't want it to be who you think's going to start, because we do that every week. At their best, who is a better player? Now, take that into account, at their best. I'm not talking about like form and stuff like that. We're going to have that conversation anyway. But I just want to know, who is a better footballer as a player? Who would you rather just be as a striker at their best? Who
are we going for?
To put on the screen for the last one, I mean, you said Xerxes, I said Xerxes as well. So Sam, I mean, unless you have a strong disagree.
No, we'll do Xerxes.
We can put Joshua Xerxes.
That's fine. Joshua Xerxes. I'm going to say it's J2, but it's Joshua Xerxes.
It's J2. All right, sweet. I mean, Sam, you can come, sit back down.
All right, let me redo that Z.
Oh, is he gonna
I'm going to get cooked.
Okay, cool. So
there we go.
So let's go through that full team. We've got Altay Bayern there in net. I'm have to turn around slightly just to see this. Altay Bayern there in net. We've got Martinez, Harry Maguire, and Lenny Yoro as a free centre-back options. This is our predicted XI, by the way. We've got Dallo in the left wing-back position, Mazraoui in the right wing-back position. We've got Toby Collyer and Kobbie Mainoo as the two midfielders, Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad as the two 10s, and Joshua Xerxes. Now, the lineup will be coming out in about 5 minutes, so we're going to get to see if we got it right. I mean, imagine we got it spot on. I mean, come on.
Do you know what, though? Every time we're confident, it ends up being way off. And this time, because we're like, yeah, whatever, it's probably going to end up being right.
Yeah.
Just a quick one on the Dorgu medical, because the chat was saying that Romano said that it was today. No, he said it was on the weekend.
On the weekend. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's sweet. So, I mean, let me go through some super chats from what people are saying. So, super chat from Syra Bar. We haven't tried Ugarte and Casemiro. With Ugarte's legs and Casemiro's passing range, it would make for a good midfield. And to be fair, a lot of people in the chat a few people in the chat were actually agreeing with him and thought that was interesting. What do you guys think about that, Ugarte and Casemiro?
I think it's very, very rare that we're going to see Casemiro in a Manchester United shirt. But obviously, as I said that, watch me read his name out when we tear the lineup in 5 minutes.
and he comes in. I'm trying to find the rest of the super chats have kind of gone off my screen. I'm going to get the super chats on in a second. Don't worry. I'm going to read out your super chats. In fact, I'll get producer Greg to send me those super chats in. But let's talk a little bit about this game. Now that we've gone through the team, so United's recent form. So we won 1-0 to Fulham. We beat Rangers 2-1. We lost 3-1 to Brighton. We beat Southampton 3-1, and then we drew to Arsenal 1-1. So we've lost 1 in our last 5. In fact, if we keep going to the next game, it was a 2-2 draw to Liverpool. Obviously, we beat Arsenal the 1-1 of the penalties. So we've actually only lost 1 in our last 6. Which, I mean, I don't know how we've managed to. I mean, a lot of them have been scrapers. The Rangers one last-minute winner, the Southampton one, Ahmad hat-trick. You know, I mean, we drew to Liverpool. Arsenal took them to penalties. They've not really been convincing wins, in my opinion. And obviously the Fulham win, again, just about won that game. So form-wise, if you're looking at it just on paper, it looks good. It looks all right anyway. But, I mean, in you guys' opinion, what has our past recent form kind of said to you about how we're going to play today?
Unpredictable, as ever. Same as the last just 5 to 6 years. It's just you have no idea what you're going to get with United. It's just, You know, even if I knew we were going to get beat every week, I'd probably be a bit more content with that.
Yeah, I think the problem is you don't know which Manchester United team are going to turn up, and I'm not talking about the what starting 11 is going to play, but every time you watch Manchester United, you can have the Manchester United that turned up at the Etihad and turned up at the Emirates, or the Manchester United that turned up at home to Newcastle. So because it's so difficult to. No one knows, because these players don't do the same week in, week out. No one knows, so it's so unpredictable which Man United team are going to turn up. If it's the one that turned up at the Emirates, I'm going into this game extremely confident. If it's the one that was there for Newcastle, I'm a little bit worried. So
that's true, 100%. I mean, I've got these super chats back up, so I'm going to go through all of them. Super chat from Show XX. Hey guys, love the show. I'm a Madrid supporter. Can you please explain to an outsider why you guys are so obsessed with Rashford, especially in the media?
Not me.
Sounds basically like
me.
What? Me. Nah, I mean, I think just the media just love him, man.
So basically, to quickly go over that Marcus Rashford situation, what happened was him and Alejandro Garnacho were left out of the squad for the Manchester derby because they didn't train well that week, and Rashford had some personal, not personal issues. Rashford did some things that the manager didn't like ahead of the Manchester derby. Therefore, he was left out of that game. Garnacho put his head down and worked. That's why he's back in the squad. Marcus Rashford then did an interview a few days later saying he's ready for a new challenge, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, that's the rundown. That's pretty much the whole rundown of what happened. Obviously, and again, Rashford is just a big name. You talk about him naturally, people are gonna listen. So that's probably why the media want to talk about him.
Yeah, I'd say ask the journalists. Mate. Ask the journalists who every 3 days ask Amorim, why is Rashford not in the squad? It's like, mate, yeah, he told you 8 weeks ago.
Nothing changed.
He just says
it's not going to magically train well, like between the 3-day gaps that these press and the managers talk.
Anyway, moving on, another super chat from OV Docs. Hi from Australia, I'm Romanian. FCSB is my home club. Interesting. In fact, let us know in the chat, wherever you are, let us know in the chat a bit more about FCSB, because obviously, I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen them play. I saw a lot of people in the chat probably haven't seen them play either, so let us know, OV Docs, your opinion on the team and a bit more information on them. Super chat from Saji Weerasingham. Euro was in a press conference, so he's almost certain to play. Good point. Yeah. I mean, sometimes they don't, but I mean, most of the time, yeah, they pretty much see play. So that's a fair point.
1 minute and we'll have the team.
Yeah, 1 minute we'll have the full team. Super chat from Patrice Evra. My boy Mordzs looking fresh. I love this game. You know, one day it's gonna actually be Patrice Evra. You know.
What for all this time it's actually been Patrice Evra?
I mean, you never know, to be fair. Super chat from Saji again. I don't think that Maguire starts, as Amorim said he's good when playing deep, and we should have most of the ball and also look okay high and press. Pretty much saying you don't think Maguire's going to start. But I mean, it's a conversation. We'll see in 1 minute if he starts anyway. Got super chat from Trey Warren. Xerxes had 0 touches when he came on for 30 minutes. They're both SH. You can finish off the...
Yeah, don't worry, mate. I know.
Another super chat, I just saw it recently from George. At their best, Xerxes is the better overall footballer, but Rasmus is the better striker. Pretty much saying as a goalkeeper. You know what it is? This conversation, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I think the lineup's out now. But we had this conversation recently on the chat about like Isak and Haaland. I said that Isak's the better footballer, but as a striker, you want the better goal scorer is Haaland. You know what I mean? But it's kind of similar to that conversation. Xerxes is probably a better footballer, but he's going to get you more goals. Potentially Haaland. So I mean, it's an interesting point that he makes. I'm
just looking. I've got the lineup. I'm trying to look how many players we got wrong.
Oh, got wrong. Okay.
Got wrong. 1.
Go on.
Okay, I'll say the lineup and then we'll work out.
Sam's going to go through the lineup.
Okay, so Bayindir in net, another start for Bayindir. Ruben Amorim has made 5 changes. Bayindir comes in for Onana. Mazraoui drops into the back 3 instead of Harry Maguire. So Manchester United starting 11 is Bayindir, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Dalot, Mainu, Collyer, so we got that midfield pairing right.
Wait, I got me. Yo, I know what I'm talking about. Stop doubting me, man. Stop doubting. Unless Mainu plays the 10.
Yeah, true.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Malasia's playing.
Oh, Dallo right wing back.
Yeah, by the looks of it. Okay. Then captain Bruno Fernandes in the 10 with...
Garnacho.
No.
Ahmad.
No.
Xerxes.
No.
Ericsson.
Yeah. Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes in the 10s, and then Rasmus Højlund preferred to Joshua Xerxes for today's game. It's going to be interesting. Will it be Bruno Fernandes deeper and Mainu up with Eriksen? Will they just change throughout the entire game? It remains to be seen. Shall I read the bench?
Yeah, read the bench.
Heaton, Onana, Lindelof, Maguire, Yoro, Casemiro, Ugarte, Ahmad, Garnacho, and Xerxes. So it's a very strong Manchester United bench as well.
That is an interesting team. That is a very, very interesting team. We'll have it on the screen for you guys in literally just a second. We're getting that graphic drawn up right now. But that is very interesting. You said there's been five changes.
5. He loves to do 5 changes.
Yeah, he does a lot of changes. But, I mean, wow. I mean, we'll get it on the screen in a second. I need to see it myself as well. I'm not actually read it properly. But, I mean, I want to talk about, first of all, those 2 10 positions. Bruno and Eriksen. I mean, that wasn't even a play that we even considered. We didn't really speak a lot about Eriksen going into the team. What are you guys' opinion on that straight away?
Last time we seen Eriksen was his cameo against Southampton, wasn't it? And he did that mint assist to Ahmad. That's the last time I remember seeing Eriksen. Or did he play Europa League? I can't remember. I can't remember if he played last week in the Europa League, but the last thing I remember of Eriksen was that assist he did to Ahmad, so I'm happy for him to be in. If he can, if Eriksen can find a groove and provide, that quality all game long, then it's happy days, mate. I feel like the thinking's kind of Højlund up front, he's more of a runner than Xerxes. And then maybe Bruno and Eriksen are going to try and find him today.
Yeah.
Probably why Xerxes missed out, because you've not got Garnacho or Ahmad in, who are usual runners. But yeah, if anyone can find someone on the pitch, it's Christian Eriksen. So
yeah. Ricky's going to be buzzing.
Do you not feel like there could be a chance that it is Mainu and Eriksen swapping, or do you not feel that's a possibility?
Yeah, definitely a possibility.
Happen,
Because we have seen Collyer and Eriksen as the 2 midfielders anyway before, and it worked. So, me personally, as much as I want to see, as much as I predicted those 2 midfielders, I really do want to see Mainu in the 10, just to see it, just to try it out. And I feel like let's be honest, in my opinion, he would be better than Eriksen in that position. In my opinion, I just feel like he's got quicker feet. He's a bit more mobile, a bit more agile than Eriksen. You might need his, a bit more explosiveness. I feel like Eriksen's very much a give me the ball and I'm gonna do something. But Mainu, you saw it with that goal against Ahmad. He was literally in the box, as in in the 6-yard box. Shifting his body and moving the ball around. I just feel like he's a little bit more of a 10 than Eriksen. So I would personally want to see Mainu in the 10. Let me know in the chat as well.
The only thing I could say about Mainu being in the 10 today is,
and his finishing as well is amazing.
The only thing I'd say about him being in the 10 is he's going to be linking up with Højlund, which is not ideal. And then he's got Malacia overlapping him, so it's like, it's not like he's got Ahmad next to him. It's a bit more of a task for him if he was to play in the 10.
Got a super chat here from Ray Way, hoping Ayogo Alo has a great game left wing back today. That's because you took the double A.
Good. I'm never writing on that thing again. My days of writing are over.
Super chat from the K-Stone. Xerxes and Højlund haven't shown what they're capable of. I don't think we've seen them at their best yet. They're at par now. None of them have proved to be better. I think that's pretty.
I think that's fair.
That's pretty fair. I definitely haven't seen them at the best. But one of them's 21, one of them's 23. So definitely not seen them at the best. Super chat from Barney. Gonna talk this into existence. Get me Jacob Ramsey. Wow. In that 10, he would be clash with us. Jacob Ramsey is not coming. I mean, Aston Villa just won 4-2 against in the Champions League. How would he come to United? Maybe one day. Super chat from Sydney Sweeney, boyfriend. Ricky is celebrating somewhere.
Hey.
We should have got Ricky. Can be in the forum anyway, so we're gonna see his opinion on this team. But anyway, we're gonna have Beth calling in soon. She's obviously at the stadium. We're going to see her opinion as well. But I mean, going back into this team, Bayern there does start. What does that mean? Now, in terms of him, this goalkeeper conversation, what do you think that means in terms of where Amorim sits on who his, I guess, preferred keeper is?
So if we're going by the words of Ruben Amorim, if we are believing everything that Ruben Amorim says at the moment in his press conferences, and because he is being honest and there's no reason to really doubt Amorim's words, Bayern is playing because of rotation. That is what is coming out of Manchester United and what's coming out of Ruben Amorim, his own mouth. He is saying that Amorim is playing, not Amorim, he is saying that Bayern is playing because of rotation and that Onana is his number one goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He said that it's obvious that there's competition there, but today again, it just looks like we've got a cup goalkeeper. Okay,
what about you, Tom? Do you feel like Onana is still his preferred favourite goalkeeper, or do you feel like the tides are kind of changing? You know, if Bayern has a man of the match performance today, is he going to start playing some Premier League games? You never know.
I don't know, because I would have never expected him to have been dropped. I would have never expected Onana to get dropped for that Europa League game that he did. I know we had the howler against Brighton, but it is a big call, that.
Yeah.
I know some people might say it's a straightforward call because, you know, you drop in someone who's made a calamitous mistake. But to say, right, even though you're my cup keeper and not today, wait, we're making a change halfway through the season, I think it's a big call.
Yeah.
But that could be it going forward. That could be that now. Bayern could be the cup keeper, the Europa League keeper, I should say, rather than cup keeper, not to get it confused with the domestic cups. But why not, man? Let's give him a chance.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd say also Bayern has done nothing. He's done okay. Let me rephrase.
The Spurs game was tough.
Bayern has done nothing really for us to doubt him or to say he shouldn't be our cup goalkeeper. So yeah, as you said, why not? Bayern is I think he obviously is our second choice goalkeeper, so he should be playing the cup games, FA Cup. He should be playing those type of games.
But then again, behind the scenes, do you think the guys aren't probably saying, well, we want to win this Europa League and we've got Champions League finalist goalkeeper that we paid, 40-50 million quid for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Surely on paper, that's your obvious starter. So it is probably bigger. It is probably bigger of a call than it seems to the eye to say, right, we're moving on. The Champions League finalist, we're not playing you in the Europa League. we want to play Bayern Day.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like with United, we really need to get away from looking at someone or picking someone based on their CV. Because we've done that a lot. We've picked players based on what they've done in the past or the last year or the last 2 years or for another club. And they've not been able to do that at United. But then you have players who, like someone like Ahmad, he doesn't have a CV.
Do you think, sorry, just quickly on the goalkeeper thing, I've just had a thought, so I don't want to lose it. Do you think that this rotation stuff with the goalkeeper, because we saw it at Arsenal and it didn't work, right?
Yeah.
Do you think this rotation stuff is Amorim in silence calling out for a new number one goalkeeper? No, because he doesn't think Bayern can like this. This is just hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
But we are assuming he doesn't think Onana can do it, and haven't seen Bayern play in the Premier League. So, is he crying out for a new number one goalkeeper in silence? Would you get an okay? I'll ask the chat.
Yeah.
Would you get a new number one goalkeeper in the summer to replace Onana and replace Bayern? So it would then go in the rankings: new goalkeeper, Onana, Bayern. It's just a thought. But then Onana will probably leave. But
that's what I was gonna say.
Just in theory, would you get a new number one goalkeeper?
Yeah, I was going to say I highly doubt if you bring a new goalkeeper in, they'd both stay. You know, one of them. In fact, Onana just wouldn't stay. He is a starting keeper for a good team. When I say good team, I don't mean like Champions League winning team or the Premier League competing team, but just for a good team, a Premier League team.
Yeah, look at the chat.
A Premier League team. I think Onana would start. A lot of yeses in the chat.
Well, wasn't there something as well, something not long ago about Bayern wanting first team football?
Yeah, well, we've got to remember that Bayern is a first choice national team goalkeeper. So he is good enough to do it, but just maybe not at a club the size of Manchester United.
I'm sure there was something about him not looking at signing a new deal because he wants first team football by the end of his contract.
Don't blame him. You can't blame him. Every player wants to be playing week in, week out. But I think Amorim will want a new number one goalkeeper.
I do think he wants him, but I don't know. I'm never convinced on this whole like Amorim's playing certain players to send a message to the board. Like, why would I don't think?
Yeah, football managers not doing that. Are
Yeah,
they?
I just don't think managers do that.
Game,
you want to waste. You're gonna potentially waste a game just to send them. Go and speak to them. That's your boss. Just call him. Call Jim and ask him like, why do you need to put a player on the pitch? Like, but anyway, I've got a couple of super chats here. I'm gonna read through. Another super chat from Patrice Evra. Is my boy Kev fired? I'm sad. No, Kev is not. Kev can never get fired.
Let's just actually say this. Let's just give Kev a big wave. Hi, Kev. Obviously, he was meant to be here, but he had to jump out due to illness. Failed a late fitness test. Kev did. Yeah, let's show some love for Kev in the chat.
Yeah, everyone
we're sending you our love, Kev.
Everyone show some love for Kev in the chat. He will probably be on the next game.
Yeah, he'll be back deadline day, but just.
A lot of people don't know this. Yeah, obviously a lot of new United Stand fans. Kev was on the first ever United Stand video. Do you know that?
The first ever.
Yeah, he told me.
Wow.
He told me Kev was on the first ever United Sound video, so he is. If anyone's an OG, it's Kev.
If anyone's getting fired, it's not Kev.
Yeah, it's not Kev. But yeah, another super chat from Sierra Bar. There's no pace at all in this team except Rasmus. Another interesting point. Super chat from Pizza. Ericsson and Bruno will pass to Rasmus. May see the talent today. Super chat from Mojo's twin brother. I can do alphabets too. D, B, C, A, E, F, G. I don't know what that means. Super chat from Class of 99. Rasmus awful might benefit from Ericsson today. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's all the super chats. I mean, there are still some other talking points in this team. I mean, Collyer comes back in to start. This is, I think, his second start under Amorim. I think the only other start I remember him actually having was when he started like left back or something like that for one of the cup games. But he is back into the team. Last thing that I remember. Or the last game that he started, I remember him having a pretty good game. It was clean, it was confident. I didn't feel like he's a liability or risk. And a lot of times when you do start younger players, he's only 21 to be fair, but younger players, there is that kind of, is he ready? Can he do it? Can he step up to a big game or a play at this level? And I feel like he did that. He did that very, very well. So I'm not too hesitant about this. I remember we were speaking before the game about any shocks, and I was like, but what really is a shock for United now? Because Collier's not a shock anymore. He's not like oh my gosh, Collier started. I'm actually happy for him that he's starting this game, and hopefully he can have another good game. So, I mean, in your opinion, is Collier a player that you feel like will be very useful in the future? I mean, he's useful now, but more useful in the future. Or do you feel like we still need some more midfielders in that team that could potentially replace Collyer? What do you think?
Yeah, so we've got to remember with Collyer that Manchester United bought Toby Collyer. He isn't Carrington born and bred. So when people say, he's been here for years and he hasn't had much game time, it's actually not true, because Manchester United bought Toby Collyer from Brighton. And yeah, he hasn't been given the opportunity yet, but that's clearly because the previous managers didn't think it was ready. Every manager seems to bring through one of these type of youngsters. Obviously, Ten Hag did it with Minu and Garnacho. Amorim's done it now with Collyer. Let's see if he's going to do it with anybody else. But I'm happy for Collyer. I'm happy that he's in the 11. I've got absolutely no issue with it. And yeah.
What about you, Tom?
I liked his performance against, was it Fulham? He started against Fulham, didn't he, Collyer? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Just spoke briefly to Rick about it after the game, and I said to him, every time he's playing, he's making more and more of a case to be a starter.
Is it?
I think
a starter.
As in, like, if you're looking at your midfield too, and we were saying before, none of them are really cemented. And if we're going off current form, if you've got a guy there who's giving you a performance every time he plays, it gets more difficult and difficult to look past playing him. And he kind of fits into that similar profile of Ugarte, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's kind of a similar profile to Ugarte. So unless Ugarte's not going to start every single game. If he's going to be the backup to Ugarte very quickly.
I think, genuinely, I feel like, not even to take anything away from him, but I think at most, he is the like you said, the backup to Ugarte. I don't think he's putting on a case to start, in my opinion. Only because I still feel like the two midfielders that we have above him are better.
Yet. I don't think not yet for Collyer.
But even yet, who would okay, you said he's got a similar profile to Ugarte. Do you feel like he eventually will take over Ugarte's place? I don't think he'll do that.
No. I don't.
So then,
would
he play next to him? Because then that's two of the same. If you're saying they've got a similar profile, that's two of the same profile next to each other. But you not want a player who is a bit better on the ball, a bit more confident, a bit less press resistant. Those kind of players. But you not think that would be better to complement him with? In my opinion, I just feel like it's a bit too early to say he's competing for a starting position. I think maybe in the next 2-3 years, maybe. But right now, I don't really see that.
No, I didn't mean like guaranteed starter. I didn't mean Bruno level starter. But he's very quickly gone from just being, every now and then on the bench to where he's now actively getting a look in every single game.
It's good rotation though.
Every single game now he's there or thereabouts. Do you know what I mean? He's a shout. That's probably what I'd say. He's definitely a shout to start every single game. Which, are we still gonna? I'd still say we probably want to look in summer to bring in a higher profile of midfielder, a higher calibre, of midfielder, but. If you can keep progressing and we can slowly trickle players in. I like the way we've done it with Yoro, where we've slowly integrated him in. There's no rush with Collyer. It's not like he has to now, next season, go and start 30 games or some 30, 40 games. I like the way we're doing it, just slowly bedding these players in. I'm happy for him to get game time at the moment,
100%. I mean, I've got some more super chats here I'm going to go through before I miss any. Super chat from John117. EH, line up with all players in their natural position. Oh, I said EH, I think it just means air. I thought it was like an initial, like Eric Ten Hag.
Too locked in with that whiteboard's changed our lives.
Another super chat from Siraj Mukherjee. We are setting up defensively to ensure a draw, which keeps us in the top 8, but have playmakers up front to squeeze in goals when opportunity presents. Do you think Amorim's setting up for a draw?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think he'd do that.
You guys ever gone into a football game trying to get a draw?
No way.
Super chat from Ravel Burns. Mads Hermansen, goalkeeper from Leicester, should be our realistic target. He's 24 and ready, mint shot stopper and better distribution than most keepers in the Prem. Do you guys, I personally, I don't know a lot about him, so I can't really comment on that, but I just highly doubt it. I don't know, I just highly doubt it.
No, I don't think it would go down well with the fan base to sign a keeper that will probably be getting relegated this season.
Yeah.
I'd say the keeper thing gives... it's another added issue now to where we realistically we weren't really talking about replacing a keeper 3 months ago and now we're looking at replacing a keeper. Would you say a keeper in summer, is that more of a priority than striker or wing back? Or,
I wouldn't say that personally.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like it might end up getting pushed to the back of the queue. Maybe a contract's going to have to be seen out before we bring another keeper in.
Super chat from Simply Red. Rasmus limited as a footballer, Xerxes Miles better. Super chat from Brian 23528. Who would Beth start as goalie? She seems to be an expert. Beth's supposed to be coming in, so I don't know where she is, but maybe the connection's not that good. Oh, the music's too loud. The stadium's probably rocking right now. Super chat from... Actually, I think that might be the last... That is the last super chat. So yeah, thank you for these super chats. Make sure you send any more super chats in so we can discuss the topics that you want to speak about. Another interesting one or player that is, to be fair, I'm not actually surprised he's playing, but it's where he's playing. That's Mazraoui. We've only got De Ligt and Martinez in over 2 centre backs in the team, so it kind of suggests that Mazraoui will be playing as a right-sided centre back with Dalot as the right wing back and Malacia as the left wing back. First of all, you spoke about it before. Our predicted lineup, we had the 3 centre-backs. It could just end up being Mazraoui as right centre-back. A lot of people think that is actually his best position in this team over being a right wing-back. Do you agree, or do you feel like he is a better wing-back than a right-sided centre-back?
I preferred his performances as a right centre-back.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah. There's been some notable ones. I think Emirates, I know we got beat, but... I remember being quite impressed with him Emirates away in the league. I also think did he play the City? Did he play right centre back against City? And then Diallo played on the as wing back. I think I do know for definite that the times I've seen him right centre back, I've felt more comfortable with him there. I just feel like going forward, he's nowhere near as bad as Wan-Bissaka going forward, but he still gives you that kind of like.
Wan-Bissaka had a great game the other day. He had a great game, and
love Wan-Bissaka.
You know what's funny? Yeah, you know, like someone's literally just put in the chat like 2 seconds ago. Would Wan-Bissaka be a decent right centre back?
No, I like Mazraoui on the ball when he's got the game in front of him. I'm not as big of a fan, when he's got to try and get forward. I think he is more suited to being a centre back. To be honest,
Ten Hag tried him in the 10.
I just think on the ball, mate. When he's passing, when he's got the ball and he's got players in front of him to pass, I think he's good at distributing the ball out.
Yeah.
But I feel like at wing back he's a bit more limited. There's a lot of times where he gets the ball and it's almost like he knows he's not quite got it in the tank to make that that run. So he's just kind of. It'll do what he can and then turn back and just keep the ball, which I've got no problem with. I'd rather than not have it. So, yeah, I prefer him right centre back.
Who do you think is a better wing back, Dalot or Mazraoui?
Ooh, who do I think is a better wing back, Dalot or Mazraoui? Probably Mazraoui from, what are you like?
Producer Greg said Valencia.
Valencia. That's an unfair comment, but Dalot or Mazraoui, I'd probably say Mazraoui just because Dalot isn't having a fantastic season, and it's more likely, obviously, when we're looking at a lineup that we think Mazraoui will perform than Dalot. That's not to say that Dalot isn't doing well or isn't still capable, but Mazraoui's just got that edge above him for me at the moment.
There's a lot of Wan-Bissaka stands in the chat. I think you pissed him off still.
Mate, where were they when we sold him? Because nobody was sticking up for him when we got rid of him.
You know what? I'll happily.
I like
Wan-Bissaka played better than Dalot this season. That's facts.
Yeah, I like it.
No one can even deny that. But I would have taken him back anyway. That's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, I personally feel like that. Mazraoui is a better wing back, but none of them are good enough as a wing back for United going forward. Not saying they're not good enough players, but as a wing back, they're not going to be the starting wing backs to kind of take us. They're doing a job,
but they're not doing specialists.
Yeah.
If we really want to get the most out of this system and this formation, we need specialist wing backs.
Amorim needs the players that he wants in those positions, and we instantly become a better team, 100%.
So, this is another question about Amorim, and this is the formation and the system that he's kind of brought to United is very specific. He needs certain players, like you said, specialists in certain positions and certain profiles of players. You've got something?
Yeah, just a quick one. I see loads of people in the chat saying, why isn't Garnacho playing? Apparently, according to Manchester Evening News, Alejandro Garnacho was unwell during the week. No. I'm not saying that he wasn't, but maybe there's something there that it's transfer deadline day on Monday. He played the last game. He's not playing today. Apparently, he was unwell.
You feel like there's a bit of a... He's looking to...
Because they're still talking to Chelsea, so...
It's still looking likely.
I would be surprised if no one made a last-minute move for Garnacho, but let's see.
Out of, let's say, percentage-wise, what is the percentage that Garnacho leaves?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
I'd probably go 60%.
60. It's more likely he will leave than stay?
At the moment,
but only slightly.
Only just.
I thought you were going to say like 70,
no,
75.
only just, because Chelsea, it's gone quiet in the news, but Chelsea are still talking internally about Garnacho. They're obsessed with the idea of Garnacho.
They're obsessed with everyone.
Yeah.
Like they're actually obsessed with everyone. They're becoming like us. Like, well, like when every player used to be linked to United for no reason. He just had a good game and United are looking for him. That's literally Chelsea when it comes to wingers especially.
Is Napoli still an option?
I think Napoli will only come back in for Garnacho if United lower their demands. But at the moment, there's no intention to do that from United. But I think probably the two we'll be watching closely on deadline day, especially Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. But we'll be here on deadline day bringing you minute-by-minute updates with loads of special guests. So that's
quickly,
gonna be a good day. Before
we even get off the transfer news, because we're going to talk about like a little bit. In terms of players going out, we obviously know about the Antony's already gone out and Casemiro potentially could go Saudi. What is like the main news right now in terms of, like, you spoke about Garnacho and also Rashford as well, is there any more news on, him potentially leaving? Because, I mean, there's literally 4 days left.
Yeah.
4 days left, and
So-
something's got to happen soon.
So the deadline is on Monday. Monday the 3rd of Feb is transfer deadline day. We'll be live in the studio throughout
whole
the
day.
entire afternoon. We're doing all day, and then Goalkeeper is taking over in the night. We're going to have loads of special guests. But back to the prime transfer question. There are clubs still circling for Marcus Rashford. It's fair to say that Rashford's dream move is Barcelona, but we all seen the embarrassing side of Barcelona where they can't. Where they buy a player and they can't register, and then the players just sat there. Then they have to pull the levers and all this. So Marcus Rashford's dream move is Barcelona. Barcelona have held those conversations, but they can't move yet for Marcus Rashford, or they couldn't as of this morning when I checked. I'd still keep an eye on Fenerbahce and Marcus Rashford. I don't think that situation is completely as it seems. Galatasaray were also looking, but they're deciding, I think, to go with Alvaro Morata instead.
Yeah, I saw that. Is there any possibility it could be a Premier League team?
West Ham were looking, Tottenham were looking. Yeah. You laugh when I said West Ham. But West Ham. It's not just me that's reported. It's been widely reported that West Ham are looking, or were looking at least, for Garnacho, but they're looking to close the deal. Not for Garnacho, for Rashford, but they're looking to close a deal for Brighton's Evan Ferguson. That's what West Ham are looking to do. So I think it's going to be interesting. It's one to watch. There's not much time left. So let's see.
Wow. Rashford.
Mate, life in London, new stadium.
I'll be honest, I can't. Rashford, I can't. 300k a week at United to respect to West Ham, though. Respectfully to West
bubbles,
Ham.
mate.
But to blow in bubbles, man. I mean, they have got a nice stadium, though. I've been there. They've
nice.
got a nice stadium, but bloody hell. I mean,
And I don't think that Marcus Rashford, is fair to say, is not top of Tottenham's priority list either. They looked, so did Arsenal, but Arsenal didn't want to touch Rashford due to his off-field behaviour.
So it's completely off with Arsenal. Or
It was never on.
It was
to be
never
honest,
on.
with
Okay.
Arsenal and Rashford. It was never on. Tottenham looked, but they closed an agreement today with Bayern Munich for Matthias Tell, the Manchester United and Chelsea target. There's a club-to-club agreement on a base of around 60 million euros. However, the player hasn't given the green light yet and is still talking to other clubs. In theory, the player would like to become a Bayern Munich legend. So he is open to leaving on loan, but he will leave permanently if he is forced out. So they've had that 60 million agreement, Tottenham and Bayern, but there's no green light from the player.
Wow, that's good transfer news. So let us know in the chat. Wait. So we spoke about players going out. Is there any quickly, because we've only got like 15 minutes maybe left, let me know about any potential players coming in.
Yeah, so Manchester United have been looking, obviously Dorgu's coming in. I think if Garnacho or Rashford leaves before deadline day, even on deadline day, that gives Manchester United more of a chance of moving. I think they are waiting for a big type of player to leave, either Garnacho or Rashford, to then make a move. They're circling. They called for Matthias Tell, but so did a load of Premier League clubs. So United would be open to doing that Matthias Tell deal on loan. They're talking, but they haven't even initiated contact with Bayern yet. The player, Matthias Tell, would like to become a Manchester United player. That's been widely reported. But obviously, at the moment, Tottenham are the only ones to have an agreement with Bayern. So let's see. They kind of circled, they asked a question for Ademola Lookman, but they were told absolutely not, zero way. And also Saudi were looking there, so he's more likely, if he was to leave, to go there, but I don't think Lookman will leave. I'd keep an eye on the situation of Tell, potentially to Brighton if Matoma goes, because Al Nassr bid there, but Brighton have no intention to let Matoma go. So the Tell situation is one to watch.
Sweet. All right, so there you go. There's your transfer news about Man United. If any of you have missed out on what's going on, that's pretty much a full breakdown, well, briefly anyway, about what's going on. I mean, like Sam said, we are going to be live on transfer day from, I think, what time do we start?
2 p.m. till 8 p.m. in the studio,
8 p.m.
and then Goldbridge will take you over till the deadline.
Yeah, so Mark will be on from 8 to 11. It finishes at 11, right, or 12?
The window, yeah, and then there's deal sheets. We'll explain it all on deadline there.
Okay, cool. Now, I know you guys have been waiting for a special guest. We do have somebody phoning in. He's not ready yet. Okay, yeah.
Who is it?
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. No, I get what you're saying. But anyway, moving on.
Who is it?
You know, when you got someone speaking in the air, you can't really speak at the same time. But anyway, moving on. I mean, I want to we've got last 15 minutes. A player that came back to training recently.
Someone said, "Is it Rashford?"
Imagine Rashford's that. But yes, a player that came back in training recently, Luke Shaw. Okay, we have got a special guest coming in a sec. He's not ready yet, but he is going to be. Let us know in the chat who you think it is. Actually, who do you think it is? Quickly, let us know quickly. Who do you think it is? He's phoning in. It's a very special guest. Very special. This is an exclusive, actually.
Yeah, chat. You ain't ready.
This is an exclusive.
This is like retro, like 90s
Let's say this. We have never, on the history of the United stand, had a guest call in from the location they're about to call in.
That is facts. That is 100% facts. It's not Ricky.
Royal Rumble.
It's not Ricky.
It's not Ricky. We have never had a guest call into the United stand where they're about to call in.
We had to make a big phone call for this one as well, so the chat's going crazy.
Gary Neville.
All right, anyway, let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Kev, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
So, Kev, I mean, a lot of people are going to be thinking, what is going on? Where is Kev? He hasn't got the Cantona shirt in the background. What is going on with Kev right now? I don't know if is he there?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, go on. Kev, carry on. Yeah, go on.
I did say fancy dress. Hospital. I've got to keep the noise down slightly as well, so great show. I'm enjoying it.
So then, just so people don't panic, is everything good? Is everything cool?
Yeah. I broke my collarbone. I broke my cheekbone on Boxing Day, so I'm in to get it repaired finally. So it should be all right. I heard Sam saying that he had an illness, but no, nothing to worry about. Just restoring Kev's beauty.
Sweet.
That's all it is.
Okay, cool. That's great. Like you said, he is cool. He will be back soon on the build-up show, the Fans Forum. Don't worry. So, Kev, I mean, talk to us about United. We've literally got about 10 minutes left, so you can pretty much kind of, have your say on what's going on. So we are obviously playing FCSB in the Europa League. First of all, what's your feelings on today's game? How do you think it's going to go? What are your predictions? Talk to me about today.
Yeah, mate. I'm confident. Obviously, I've been watching your show, so I've got the team news. That was my source of getting the team. I can understand people saying legs-wise, it doesn't look great, but I think it'll work. I don't think there's any issue with Collyer and Mainu in the midfield. Depends who kind of drops back in there, doesn't it, really? Bruno's capable of doing that. So if Eriksen stays in the 10, disciplined, no issues. I suppose the big one was Højlund, wasn't it, really? Yeah. Højlund or Xerxes, that would be the main sort of talking point. But no issue with it. Should be good enough to beat these.
Should be. Famous last words.
Yeah.
Famous last words. So in terms of, we spoke about literally every player. So I want your opinion on that Mazraoui in the right centre-back. Do you feel like he could kind of make a little bit of a case for himself here, saying, you know what, I am better in this position, I should be playing here more often? Because the reality is, when Dorgu does come into the team, and he does start getting a bit more play time and he starts to develop and progress in the team, one of the two, Dalot or Mazraoui, is going to have to get cut out. Unfortunately, one of them is going to have to get cut out. But if Mazraoui can make a strong case at right centre-back, it means he has he's got two positions now, which he can kind of play in. Do you feel like this is a big game for him?
Yeah, well, of course, it's an extra sort of chink in your armoury, as they would say, but you'd want players to be, versatile at Man United. And I think it'd be, if Dorgu's going to come in and play on the left-hand side, then I think it's more of a challenge for Dalot now to step up, because I would say that over the course of the season, I would say that Mazraoui's actually been better. So if anything, it's probably up to Dalot to raise his game. But again, he can play on the left-hand side as well, can't he? So you've certainly got competition for places, which is what we need at United. But Mazraoui on the right-hand side, I think he's been a lot better than Dalot this season.
So you see this more as Dalot's opportunity to kind of prove himself as a right wing back, because we haven't seen him a lot, play in that position. He has kind of been pretty much forced to play left wing back for the majority of the time because we haven't had anybody else there. So it's more like, okay, Dalot, step up now. Let's see what you can do. How can you play that? I mean, people have been given that excuse of he's more of a right-sided player. Do you feel like he's going to have a better game today?
Yeah, and in fairness, you can defend him with that, can't you? He's not a left-hand sided player. Hopefully, once Dorgu is through the door, he will be that player that gives us that balance on that side. Absolutely amazing to see Luke Shaw rising from the ashes like Tyson Fury against Wilder. He looks interested again, which is funny because when we signed Alex Telles years ago, we spent, heavily on a left back. Luke Shaw, all of a sudden, injury problems looked like a steam train, looked interested, got back into the team. But I don't know whether I'm reading too much into that. But again, Luke Shaw's another player whose future's kind of on the line now, and Dorgu will definitely make him step up. And I'd love to see Luke Shaw come back again. It's up to him, innit? Injuries at that age now, you look at it and think it's a huge issue.
I mean, we haven't even really spoke too much on Luke Shaw. Like you said, he is back in training. Whether it's like full training, I'm not too sure. But pun, not too sure. But anyway,
love it.
But I mean, the point I wanted to make was, is Luke Shaw still for you a player that you want to see at United? Because in my opinion, I'm done. I'll be honest, I'm done. I want to see him go in the summer, not because I don't like him or anything personal or I don't think he's a good player, but he's just, we talk about wages all the time. That's another player on 250k a week. Like, we want to clear up wages. That's a player who's been sat on the bench for probably most of his United career, and he's not really done much for us. He hasn't, kind of shown that he is going to be putting in a season-long consistent run of games. I don't think he's even done that yet. So for you, is he still a player that you want to see in the long-term future potentially? I mean, how old is he now? 29, 30?
Yeah. At the latter end of his career, but 30 years old. I think if you can get him back, he gives you a centre-back option as well. I think it was highlighted very well that even when he was playing at centre-back, he was keeping Harry Maguire out the team. He become a kind of focal point of that defence. So again, if you can get him back, he's versatile, isn't it? And he's still, if he can get back to what he was, one of the best left backs, I would say. So again, it comes down to, it is an option, but I certainly get the point of money and if you're looking to move him on. But when you made that comment before that there's players that you kind of look at and think, I'm done with, you might be done with the injury issue. If you can get over it, there is no sort of fault in his kind of talent at United. I think there's other players that you're probably sick and tired of, that where you'd think just get rid of, simply not good enough footballing wise. But he's a baller, as they say. He can certainly play.
100%. So, I mean, you guys have any questions for Kev?
Hi, Kev. Just to lighten your mood, the chat were asking if you got in a fight with Steve from the road trips.
No comment. That's what my lawyer told me to say anyway.
Fair enough. Just on the game, obviously, the striker situation, who would you have gone with today?
Do you know what? It's such a double-edged sword, that one, because I think whoever you don't play at the minute, both of them are going to look at it and feel a bit disheartened. I think Xerxes can look at it, but I would say that Højlund probably needs it more, simply just for confidence. And do you think he can't buy a goal?
Do you think Eriksen playing potentially in that 10 position can help Højlund, maybe sort of some balls over the top or unexpected balls, maybe the type of play that Bruno Fernandes can't do, Eriksen can do?
You'd like to think so, because that is the one thing at this moment in time that people kind of defend Højlund with, isn't it? It's the fact that he doesn't get the service. But I think after seeing him start recent games, the one thing has been his hold-up play. And I think that's why people look at Xerxes and probably mark Xerxes up just over on Højlund and prefer him, because he kind of brings others into play, doesn't he? His hold-up play, and Højlund doesn't have that, which for 72 million, when you look back on that as a deal, is an absolute shocker, really. A striker whose first touch ain't there and who can't hold up the ball. Make it make sense.
Yeah, for sure. Kev,
I've got a quick one, Kev. Have you ever seen that clip from WWE of Vince McMahon in the hospital bed?
I have, yeah. I'm not recreating it, mate. Honestly, I get thrown out of this ward.
Is that what you remind you of?
Yeah, mate, I was just thinking who it could be. Steve Austin comes in and batters him, doesn't he? I was thinking, does anyone hold any grudges against you, Kev?
I don't need another Steve battering me anyway.
All right, Kev, I mean, there's a super chat here for you from Patrice Evra. He said, Kev, with a love heart, you're here, my boy. I love this game.
Thank you very much, Patrice. What a legend.
Yeah, I mean, the whole chat is pretty much saying get well soon. I think they all got scared. They were thinking, what is good? They thought Kev was going to be in the show, and then they see him in the hospital. They're thinking, what's going on? But yeah, Kev, I mean, get well soon. I mean, probably see you on the next game. I'm sure you'll be back in no time.
Yeah, I'll be watching later on as well, lads. Anyway, very well done and thank you. Bit different this. Yeah. Something I've never done before.
All right, sweet. Appreciate it.
thanks,
Thank
Kev.
you very much.
See you, mate.
All right, cool. So now to kind of round up the show, let's do our players to watch. I don't know if you guys have had any time to think about this, or I mean, now that you've seen the lineup, you've probably got a bit of a you've had a bit of time to kind of think of which players you want to see, or you're going to focus on for today's game. So I mean, so you can go first. Which players are you watching today?
Today I'm going to be watching. It's a toss-up. This I'm stuck between Højlund and Eriksen, but I feel like they're both kind of in the same little. We're looking for the same thing. We're looking for Eriksen to provide Højlund with service. We're also looking Højlund to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of Can I split between? Or can you pick? Can you pick what you
can have
going?
two players to watch. You can have two players to watch.
Go on. I'm going with that little Højlund and Eriksen little thing. Let's see if Eriksen can get the best out of Højlund. But Højlund's got to do more, man. His movement's got to be better, and when he does get the ball, he's got to do more with it.
Yeah, I think my player to watch will probably be Diogo Dalot today, back in that right wing back position where he naturally is better on the right hand side. So I'm just hoping he can perform there, have a good game today. So yeah, Dalot's my player to watch. Okay,
cool. I think for me, just to pick someone different from you guys, I'm gonna have to say. Actually, no, you picked Højlund, didn't you? You say Eriksen, I'll say Højlund. I just feel like Højlund, it's not looking great. Obviously, the performances, but I'm still on this whole. Like, I really want to see him get back to what we saw of him last season. There was points of last season where I'm thinking, like, wow, like he might not be a £72 million player, but this is something that we can work with. We could still go and bring in an experienced striker, but Højlund is someone for the future. And right now, it's not really looking at that. It's looking like he's lost his potential almost. So I really want him to get back and get a couple goals. Sometimes one goal can just change everything. It can completely change your confidence, and you just start to just play differently. So yeah, I'm gonna say Højlund is my player to watch. Couple of super chats in here actually. Let me read through them. I don't know which one I started off with, but I'm gonna go from Glazers out. I think Garnacho won't leave. Romano just posted what Amorim thought about Garnacho. Was there something that's...
No, just Romano just posted what Amorim said. He just said
the same thing.
Just unwell during the week and he loves Garnacho, but everyone does.
Sweet. I don't know, this unwell thing, like, I feel like we just have ill players every other week. Like, I feel there's always someone who's just ill in the United. But anyway, new super chat from Saji Saji. Outside of the lack of Xerxes and the inclusion of Malacia, this is the best passing outfield team that Amorim could have put out. The best passing team. I mean, he's obviously speaking about Mainu, Collyer, Eriksen, and I mean, he said outside of Xerxes, so Bruno as well.
Apart from who? Who did he say?
Apart from Xerxes and Malacia.
What about Ahmad? He's not playing. I'd rather have Ahmad on the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I think you might be saying that Eriksen probably might be a better passer than Ahmad, which isn't like a bad thing to say. I don't think that's a crazy shout.
I don't know. I'd rather Ahmad.
You'd rather Ahmad, but I think he's like specifically passing. Yeah,
he's better passer than a lot of them.
Super chat from I've read the Patrice everyone, and then super chat from Dan Barlas. Great to see Tull in the studio.
Cheers, mate. Nice to see you comment as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, lastly, predictions. I mean, we've literally gone over the time. So, last predictions, I said 3-0 already. And I also said I think there's going to be a red card in this game. That's my, bold prediction. There's going to be a red card from, I don't know what team, hopefully their team. Hopefully we don't get a red card. I think Bruno's already got a red card for us in the Europa League, so I don't want to see that again. But go on, Sam, what's your prediction?
2-0 Manchester United, Toby Collyer goal.
Toby Collyer goal?
Yep.
Would that be his first, as in like senior first team goal?
So they're doing it on the big stage, Toby Collyer. Yeah, for me today.
Bold shot.
Yeah, I'll go with 2-1 United. And I don't think it'll be as straightforward as we hope. I feel like we might end up leaving it till the 80th, 90th minute again.
80th, another last minute winner.
You?
We love them. I said that already, 3-0. 3-0 and the red card. That's my prediction. But we have to leave the chat, with something to go send over to Mark. We've got to leave him something. I know Toll loves this, because he loves to instigate and send them over something crazy. What are we thinking? Because Mark's live right now, so we need to send him over something quickly.
Heaton in.
Heaton in. All right, listen up, guys. Go and flood Mark's chat with
Tom Heaton in.
Heaton in or Tom Heaton in. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, we are going to be back on the fans forum with Ricky, so make sure you tune in for that literally straight after the game. And yeah, we'll see you in the next show.